Sandra with you.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, nice to see you. Let's
Okay.
dive in.
Ask me my first question.
All right, so our first question is, we want to know how your journey began. What inspired you and how did you know you were an artist?
So how did my journey begin? My journey began when I was 7 years, no, not seven, 8 years old. Like the
Mm-hmm.
journey, I was trying to make money, and at the time, I was living in the UAE, and there it's very hard. Uh,
Yeah.
Sell stuff, and it's illegal. If I get caught, I could get arrested. So like at the beginning, my father used to stand next to me, sell soap, stuff like that to the workers couple times, 4 times in the UAE. Like
Yeah.
I lived there most of my life. I was born there. So when I moved to Canada, I said, this is it. Now I got to start to make money. I have to do it. So when I came Canada first 2 weeks, I started selling water. So I started and I kept on selling for a couple of weeks. I reached 300. Then
Mm-hmm.
said summer is going to end. What am I going to do next? So then one day I was at the dollar store and I was looking around and I saw a canvas and a brush and I'm like, I bought them. I'm like, let me let me get them. Let me try them. So I bought the brushes, I bought the paints, I brought the canvas,
Mm-hmm.
and I did a sunset painting. And
Yeah.
then I started thinking more, okay, how about selling these paintings? But then I asked myself, how are people going to come to me? So first of all, find the busiest place in Toronto, Dundas Square. Later,
Oh, you're so smart. Good for you, man.
I learned the subway. I've been here now
Yeah.
only 2 years, and I learned the subway and line 2 and line 1. Now because I move around a lot, I'm not going to get lost in Toronto. So I went to
Oh,
Dundas Square, and first day I made $30-$40, and it was a rainy day, soaking wet. And I was just like bargaining, come on, get your painting, and it was just horrible. It was horrible. It took time, but then I made my first $40, and then I just kept doing this for 2 weeks later, and then I made a bigger investment. I made an investment on a jar where people can tip me money. I made investments on a cart and many other stuff. Then I started to hang my paintings on the cart, and it became bigger, and I had more stuff. So then I sort of thought of something new, painting on stones, and which $5. You see the.
mhm.
So then I did this December 25th. I remember I went to the Lake Ontario, and I started collecting rocks, and then I wanted to paint them and sell them for $5 each, which worked, and I still do it. So that was in December 25th when it was a holiday, but I didn't take it as a holiday. I took it as a work day. And then then I January came, it was cold, not a lot of money. February, March,
Mhm.
April came, and then around April 23, 24, uh,
Mhm.
interviewers came to me and told me, hey, would you like to do an interview? And I said, sure. And then May come, actually, I believe it's going to be 1 year anniversary, probably after 2 days, that interview
Yeah.
viral. So May, I go on my Instagram, and I just look and I see 300 followers. I had like 40 followers. That same
Which interview was that? Was it the one where they were asking you, what message you would like to share with young people your age?
um yes.
That one?
No,
Yeah,
like
okay.
they asked me talk about your journey and just share
Mhm.
a message, say something positive. Or they came, and then May came. I open Instagram, and I find 300 followers, and I just had 50 followers. That same Instagram we're talking in, and
Mhm.
and then I told myself, where are these followers coming from? And then I went to another Instagram page. Okay, now I understand. I found myself. I went viral.
Well, you're way above 300 followers by
Yeah, you've
now.
come a long way. And that was one year ago.
It kept on going up and up. Then the next day, 10,000.
Yeah.
Then the next day, one day later, 16,000, 17,000. Then a couple of hours later, 20. couple.
Also, it happened so fast.
Yeah, it happened so fast. In like a matter of 3-4 days, my Instagram got lots of followers. So then I started, I said, okay, now I am known, I am popular. What can I do? What can I do to keep my people entertained? So I thought of ways of doing new techniques of painting, inspiring people by painting, doing speed paintings in front of people. So then May came, I had lots of customers. June came, I had lots of customers. As usual, it's summer. Then it went going down and down and down.
Yeah.
So in July, I made an investment on a speaker and got the music, and now music got more people to me. Now I have more people, more stuff,
All
and
right.
and then I perform now. Now I perform at Dundas Square, and I do speed painting. When it's, let's say, like Women's Day, like I did a painting and I said some people in the world don't have, let's say, a Women's Day. Women get attacked. So I talk about this stuff. I'm an activist too, and one of the stuff I will never forget is I did the Sudan painting, and
Yeah,
that
that was a big one.
that was a big one. Have you seen it?
I did, yeah. I actually came by and I took a photo of you on my phone and I put it up on my story.
Tell us more about that for
Yeah.
people who aren't familiar with it.
First of all, it's my country. Second of all,
Yes.
people in my country are dying, massacre. Third of all, what type of government go and kill random people and stab and shoot and rape random girls and boys? And what type of people could tie stones on people and throw them at the Nile River? What type of people are these? So, I really thought about it, and I was at school at that day, and you know what? I said to myself, okay, I'm going to do a Sudan painting when I go later to Dundas Square.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, and I got a very big crowd. Probably in total, because I did it, it took a couple of days. Like I had to
Mm-hmm.
paint it, I had to every day polish it. People would come and look, and people. I saw people. That's the first time I see people with tears from my painting, which is kind of weird at first because but that painting then is a painting like to raise awareness for the people of Sudan that are dying. So this is so that painting went viral. It went millions, millions, and millions of views, and this is even another thing that made me popular: the interview and the Sudan painting. So I was raising
Mm-hmm.
this, and it's not raising awareness. It's not changing your profile picture blue. I didn't feel changing profile picture blue is enough. I felt like I got to do more. I got to send a very powerful, strong message to the world that look, this is happening to Sudan. And I joined many protests. I'm a part of the Sudanese Community Center. I joined protest. I was chanting United Nations take action, but then it became better. But Sudan still is not a good country. So then September came. I went back to school, and after that I thought of more ways of doing paintings. Then October, November came. I did the website. Even was one big thing. The website is on my bio.
Yeah, good job and congrats on that.
Yeah, the website, because nobody
Mm-hmm.
to help me, and then I found a person that really helped me like a lot with that. His Instagram is Dirty DZA. That's his Instagram name. So then April came, and March, in the end of March, the pandemic came. The COVID thing started. Then now I'm just quarantining at home, and at that old painting, the first painting I've done 2 years ago, the rainy day I went outside, and then I look and look and look and look and look till today, and now I can sit down in front of like anywhere in a garden, as I did like 2 days ago. I was at High Park,
Mm-hmm.
sat down, and I paint the view in front of me. And then 2 years ago, I remember I was horrible. I was looking at YouTube videos and stuff. Now I do it alone, and now I use quality paints. I realize I used to use dollar stuff paints. Now
Yeah.
I high quality paints. So many
Mm-hmm.
many things changed. Oh, and January, I forgot to talk about one thing. I did a painting for Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A hired
I
me.
saw that. How did that happen? How did you get that opportunity?
So I went to Chick-fil-A, and many of the employees recognized me. Oh, he's the painter. So
Yeah.
and one of like the manager, there's like two. One of the ladies told him, he's a good painter, he's a stuff. Then the manager came out to me and told me, we want a painting. Can you do us a painting and we'll pay you? And I'm like, are you
Mm-hmm.
really? because at first it sounded a little bit weird because that was the first time I would do a painting for a big billion-dollar company, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that painting, so that's one of the things I'll never forget. I did a painting for another company too. It's called Herbalife Nutrition. I did to keep people, you know, happy.
Niall, I have a question about what you were talking about before. So, when you mentioned you're working on the Sudan piece and you got this response from people, like really emotional response that you hadn't received before, does that make you want to do more work that, that brings out that sort of response? Like, do you think it's going to change the way that you make art in the future?
I'm an activist. Every time, my art is not only landscapes and stuff. And I did one for Chile. Chile, there was something conflict in Chile. I did one for Iran. There were people dying in Iran.
Yeah.
So I did a couple of stuff, a couple of conflicts, and to show the world what's happening in Iran. People, came and protested next to me. And then what's happening in Chile? I asked one of them, and then I do a Chile flag, and then I write "Free Chile," and then people were like cheering and clapping and giving me money.
Mm-hmm.
All about this. It's raising awareness for these countries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did see that you posted in your story that you kind of want to stay away from doing the Toronto skylines. Was that like a recent decision?
That's the last Toronto skyline. It's going to the Netherlands, Amsterdam.
Oh, wow.
That's going to the Netherlands, and I told myself that's going to be the last Toronto skyline paintings. No more of the Toronto skyline paintings ever again. I'm making no more.
Why? What made you decide that?
Every time I decide many paintings now I stop doing like the Toronto skyline painting. I feel like now it's a lot. I want it to be valuable for people. I don't want it to be everywhere.
So, since you've been working out of Dundas Square, it's a very interesting area. It's very busy. There's a lot of different people coming in and out of that area.
Yeah.
What are some memorable experiences you've had, interactions you've had, a story that you would want to share that stands out to you a lot?
There is some negative stuff that happened over there. I had a couple of arguments before. I got to stand up for myself. So I've even witnessed like seeing crime happen in front of me. There's random things.
There's always something going on, yeah.
But these things will never stop me from what I'm doing because it's not affecting me, Dundas Square. And I am known. It's like my second neighborhood. If I go to H&M, if I go to the Rogers Center, there's a store. If I go to Dollarama, the employees recognize me. Like I take advantage of these people and they take advantage of me, Like when it comes to money, when it comes to like the dollar store, the dollar store, when I want to change my money to big bills, it's a place. And even the police in the neighborhood, like they recognize face. So Dundas Square is like my second neighborhood. The people that come usually there even recognize who I am.
Do you like that? Or do you have like feelings about it?
I like that. Yeah, it's nice when people come to Dundas Square and recognize you. It feels good.
Do you like when people come up to you and want to take photos with you and take photos with you?
Because me, my face, my art is around the world. Now I have art at Australia. I have somebody his art in Dubai. I have a picture and went to Japan.
And it's only been what, 1 year or 2 years you've been doing this?
And then I shipped to the US. I believe 20 or 30 paintings in the US.
Wow. So have you been getting a lot of online orders?
Online, no, I got like around 10 online orders. But not bad, better than nothing. But I get many American tourists.
Yes.
I remember the Caravana. I had many American tourists.
I know you've been asked this probably a million times, but I wonder if that answer changes over time. So, how do you relate to young people your age, and what is a message that you want to send out to them?
When I talk about this, I never like to talk about it because kids want to be kids. What I believe, spending, I never like talking about this because whoever wants to go and buy a Gucci a Gucci belt, I don't really care. You could go buy it. If you want to go buy a Gucci shoes or bag, I don't care. Go buy it. I don't really care. But, and then people, when I talk about this, people get annoyed. I tell these people who want to listen to me, instead of buying a Gucci belt or a Gucci bag, why can't I invest on something that will make me more money so I can buy 2 Gucci bags, so I can buy 3 So it's not hard. It's not hard. And Dundas Square, there people see me, they see me like a homeless person, and then many people ask themselves, does this guy really make money or not?
So I saw that you aspire to get a plane like Drake's. What's up with Nile Airline? Is that one of your goals? Yeah,
My goal soon, yes.
that's a really good goal.
Yes, and
I can see it happen.
oh, you've seen on my Instagram.
Yeah, man, I'm one of your biggest fans.
Thank you.
I really admire what you do, and I love that you use your voice to talk about things that matter with your activism work. That's very important.
Thank you.
And I love that you take art as a medium to, translate messages into visual form. And no, you're doing amazing.
I want to add something to that while we're showering you with compliments. When you said earlier, you're trying to tell other people that, like, you can make money. You said it's not that hard, but I hope you realize that it is. You, just by listening to you, like, you put so much hard work into everything that you do. You're always thinking about the next step and how you can build on things, and a lot of people don't think that way. So that
thinking about investing and how far you go into winter before you actually stop going to Dundas Square, that just shows, like, even when the COVID thing started, like, you were still trying to make an effort to be out there and do your work. So nothing can stop you, and that's a really good thing, to have that drive inside you and always be working on looking forward to what's next. What do people want to see? And listening to people when they come to you and, like, give you feedback on your work. And then I saw that you were making those donuts, the soft donuts, the rocks, the mats. Like, you're always thinking about what's next and, like, what other products. What's up with the baguettes and the lobster? Or are you gonna start dabbling in some cuisine as well?
I actually, one of my other hobbies, I love cooking, and I love and I actually cooking, and I love planting, and I could show you my garden from the window.
Oh yes.
I'm going to turn the camera, and I built a pond a couple of weeks ago. That's the pond.
What? You built that yourself?
Yes, by myself. Another one over there.
Oh my god, that's amazing! You really have been so productive in quarantine.
Yes. It was much leaves, and that was like around March, in the beginning of March. Then I thought, I love gardening, so then I started cleaning, and I made another investment on the garden too.
Okay, so what do we expect in the next few months to come out of Nile Paints? Like, what mediums are you experimenting with? What are you working on? Anything we should
keep on the radar?
Yeah, what's dropping next?
What's dropping next? Shoe business. I'm going to try to make it more viral. Another thing, when I go back to Dundas Square, I'm never going to put my paintings on the cart, but I bought a small shelf, and I'm going to put that shelf over there, so it looks like a more shop. There's something that's going to stop me. There is still, I don't feel it's enough. Still, I want to do more. I want to do more. You have to think out of the box. You have to keep on investing to keep yourself moving, to maintain yourself. Otherwise, your skills, and you have to even maintain your skills. Otherwise, to fade away, and and nobody's going to recognize you. Plus, there is just discrimination on top of it. There is racism. It's hard. I'm not. I'm Sudanese. I'm African. I'm Black. So there is some discrimination of it. It's hard. It's hard to deal with. But then there in the UAE, it's even more hard.
A lot to be grateful for here in Canada. Yeah, because I grew up in the Middle East too, so I know how it is back there. I grew up in Jeddah, and it is hard. Yeah, it's very hard.
My father tells me to keep going, but then he tells me to study,
Mm-hmm.
That's important too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he supports me. Study, keep on studying. That's my father. He loves the business idea. He loves, me selling. But then he tells me even go even and study.
Thank you so much, Niall, for taking the time to talk to us. It was such a pleasure.
Of
We'll
course.
see you at Dundas Square soon,
Yeah,
hopefully.
I'll give your page a follow too.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay,
Yes.
Sounds
bye,
great.
Niall.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Okay,
Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Much love. See you.
see you.
Bye.